Defiance among stars. General Marcus Donovan gazed through the reinforced viewport as the prototype warship took shape in the massive orbital shipyard hidden in Jupiter's shadow. For 3 years, Earth's combined governments had poured resources into Project Phoenix, all while maintaining the facade of compliance with the Galactic Assembly's restrictions. Magnificent, isn't she? The voice belonged to Dr. Alara Voss, the project's chief engineer. Her dark eyes reflected the distant sparks of welding drones as they attached the final armor plates to the vessel's hull. Worth every moment of deception, Marcus replied, his weathered face set in determination. The Assembly thinks they've contained us, restricted our potential. They have no idea what humans are capable of when backed into a corner. The Galactic Assembly had discovered Earth 50 years ago. Initially, the contact had seemed promising, advanced alien civilizations offering knowledge and technology. The honeymoon had ended quickly. Earth was classified as a volatile emergent species and placed under strict technological limitations. No faster-than-light weapons, no military vessels beyond their solar system. Humanity was effectively quarantined, allowed to observe the galactic community but not fully participate. Dr. Voss brushed a strand of silver-streaked hair from her face. The quantum displacement drive is fully operational. The adaptive defense matrix passed final testing yesterday. She's ready, General. And the Assembly intelligence officers. Still monitoring our sanctioned shipyards in Earth orbit, the decoy program is keeping them occupied with our scientific research vessels. Her smile was thin. They're looking at shadows while we build the real thing. The Phoenix was unlike anything in the Assembly's vast fleet. Where most galactic powers built ships around energy weapons and reality-bending shields, humans had taken a fundamentally different approach. The Phoenix incorporated mass drivers that could accelerate simple projectiles to near-relativistic speeds. Its defenses included regenerative armor and a swarm of autonomous defense drones. Most revolutionary was its neural-linked command system, allowing the captain and crew to interface directly with the ship's systems at the speed of thought. All strictly forbidden by Assembly regulations. Launch is scheduled for 600 tomorrow, Marcus said. I want full stealth protocols until we're past Neptune's orbit. The next day, Phoenix slipped from its berth, running dark as it accelerated toward the edge of the solar system. Captain Nadia Reyes sat in the neural command chair, her consciousness expanded through the ship's systems. 500 crew members, the best Earth had to offer, manned their stations with the quiet efficiency that came from years of secret training. Approaching Neptune's orbit, reported Lieutenant James Cotto from Tactical. Stealth systems functioning at optimal levels. Maintain course, Nadia ordered, her voice calm despite the historic nature of their mission. Prepare for FTL jump once we clear the heliopause. For 6 days, Phoenix ghosted through the outer solar system. On the 7th day, as they prepared for their first faster-than-light jump, the sensors chimed in alarm. Assembly patrol vessel detected, announced Lieutenant Cotto, his fingers dancing across the holographic interface. Vela-class interceptor on approach vector from Saturn's position. They've spotted us, Nadia asked, feeling the ship's systems analyzing the threat through her neural link. Negative, standard patrol pattern, but they'll detect our engine's signature if we initiate the jump sequence. General Donovan, who had insisted on accompanying this maiden voyage, stepped forward from his observer position. Options, Captain. Nadia processed the tactical data flowing through her mind. We can power down and drift, hope they pass by without detecting us. Or, prompted Donovan's. We can reveal ourselves on our terms, test our capabilities against actual Assembly technology. A heavy silence fell over the bridge. This moment would define humanity's future among the stars. The Assembly already sees us as dangerous, Nadia continued. That's why they've restricted us. Perhaps it's time they learned exactly how right they are, and that containment is no longer an option. Donovan nodded slowly. Proceed, Captain, show them what Phoenix can do. Battle stations, Nadia commanded, feeling the ship respond to her thoughts. Bring weapon systems online, prepare defensive swarm for deployment. The Assembly interceptor changed course almost immediately, sensors detecting the sudden power surge from Phoenix. They're hailing us, Communications Officer Lin Zhao announced. On screen, Nadia ordered. The view screen flickered to life, revealing an Arcturian officer, humanoid but with metallic blue skin and compound eyes that reflected the light in prismatic patterns. Unidentified human vessel, you are in violation of Assembly Directive 1173. Power down immediately and prepare for boarding. Nadia rose from the command chair. This is Captain Nadia Reyes of the Earthship Phoenix. We are conducting an authorized test flight within our sovereign territory. Your species is forbidden from constructing military vessels of this class, the Arcturian responded, its voice translating into a metallic approximation of human speech. Our scans indicate weapons signatures and prohibited technology. Power down immediately or face disablement. Nadia glanced at Donovan, who gave an almost imperceptible nod. We respectfully decline, Nadia replied. The Phoenix is an exploration vessel with defensive capabilities, operating within our rights as a sovereign species. The transmission cut abruptly. Moments later, the assembly ship fired a warning shot, a pulse of energy that dissipated harmlessly a kilometer from Phoenix's bow. They're charging weapons, Kato reported. Energy signatures consistent with Arcturian particle beams. Deploy defensive swarm, Nadia ordered. Countermeasures only, do not fire unless fired upon. From recessed bays along Phoenix's hull, hundreds of small drones emerged, forming a protective screen around the larger vessel. Each drone contained minimal offensive capabilities, but, working in concert, they created an adaptive defense network unlike anything the assembly had encountered. The Arcturian ship fired, a brilliant beam of coherent energy slicing through space toward Phoenix. The defensive swarm reacted instantly, several drones intercepting the beam and diffusing its energy before it could reach the ship. No damage, reported Chief Engineer Ramirez from Engineering. The swarm performed perfectly. On the view screen, the Arcturian officer appeared again, compound eyes widened in what humans recognized as surprise. Your technology, this is forbidden, the Assembly will not tolerate. The Assembly has contained humanity long enough, Nadia interrupted. We built the Phoenix not as an act of aggression but because you left us no choice. You mine our asteroid belt without fair compensation. Your observers interfere with our governance. You take without asking and expect gratitude in return. The Assembly protects less developed species, the Arcturian insisted. From what? Donovan stepped into view. From growing, from innovation, or from challenging your dominance? Before the Arcturian could respond, Lieutenant Kato called out. Multiple assembly vessels emerging from FTL, Captain. 7 ships including a Rigelian dreadnought. The bridge crew exchanged glances. This was escalating faster than anticipated. We're being hailed by the dreadnoughts, Lin reported. The screen changed to show a Rigelian ambassador, a tall, golden-skinned being with 4 arms and eyes that glowed with internal light. I am Ambassador Korth of the Galactic Assembly. Your unauthorized vessel represents a clear violation of the terms established for human development. Power down immediately. Nadia straightened her uniform. Ambassador, the Phoenix represents humanity's rightful place among the stars. We will not power down or surrender this vessel. Then you leave us no choice, Korth replied. The Assembly cannot allow prohibited technologies to proliferate. Your actions threaten galactic peace. The transmission ended. The Assembly ships began to move into attack formation. They're coordinating targeting solutions, Kato warned. All vessels powering weapons. Nadia felt the ship's systems through her neural link, sensing the readiness of each component, the determination of her crew. Helm, prepare for evasive maneuvers. Tactical, calculate firing solutions for warning shots only, and deploy our final surprise. Throughout the Phoenix, compartments opened, revealing hundreds of additional autonomous craft, larger than the defensive drones and equipped with advanced AI systems based on human neural patterns. Each could operate independently or as part of the collective defense. What are those? Ambassador Korth demanded, his transmission cutting in unexpectedly. Our most human quality, Ambassador, Nadia replied. Adaptation. While the Assembly builds bigger ships, humans build smarter ones. These craft can think independently, learn from experience, and work together. They're extensions of ourselves. You've weaponized artificial intelligence, Korth whispered in horror. This technology is forbidden for good reason. No, Nadia corrected. We've partnered with it. These are not weapons, they're crew members. The Assembly forbade us from building large military fleets, so we built smaller, smarter vessels instead. As the autonomous craft formed a protective formation around Phoenix, the Assembly ships hesitated. Their tactical systems, designed to battle single large opponents, suddenly faced hundreds of smaller, agile threats. "You stand at a crossroads, Ambassador," General Donovan said. "You can attack us and discover exactly what these primitive humans are capable of when fighting for their freedom. Or you can recognize that humanity deserves a place at the galactic table, not as subjects but as equals." The standoff stretched into tense silence. The future of humanity hung in the balance, defined by this moment of defiance among the stars. The turning point. As the standoff between the Phoenix and the Assembly fleet stretched into its third hour, tactical displays on both sides remained active, weapons primed but unfired. Captain Nadia Reyes could feel the ship's systems humming through her neural link, alert ready, but waiting for her command. "They're conferring among themselves," Lieutenant Kato reported, monitoring communications chatter. "The Rigelian dreadnought is exchanging encrypted transmissions with someone outside the system." Ambassador Korath's face appeared on the viewscreen again. "Captain Reyes, I have consulted with the Assembly Council. They demand a demonstration of your technology's capabilities before any further discussion." General Donovan exchanged a glance with Nadia. "A demonstration, or are they stalling for reinforcements?" "Both, most likely," Nadia replied quietly before addressing the ambassador. "What kind of demonstration did you have in mind, Ambassador?" Korath's glowing eyes narrowed. "The Epsilon asteroid field lies half a light-year from our position. It contains hazardous navigation conditions that have claimed 17 vessels in the past cycle. Prove your ship's capabilities there." "And if we succeed," Donovan asked, "then perhaps there is more to humanity than we previously believed." The transmission ended. Nadia turned to her bridge crew. "Thoughts?" Dr. Voss, who had joined the mission as technical advisor, stepped forward. "It's a test of our adaptive systems. The Epsilon field isn't just asteroids, it contains quantum instabilities and gravitational anomalies. They want to see if our AI integration can handle unpredictable conditions." "Or they're leading us into a trap," Kato suggested. "Either way," Nadia decided, "we show them what Phoenix can do. Helm, plot a course to the Epsilon field, defensive swarm in escort formation. Let's give them a demonstration they won't forget." The Phoenix powered up its quantum displacement drive, accompanied by its cloud of autonomous craft. The assembly fleet followed at a distance, maintaining weapons lock but not interfering. As they approached the asteroid field, sensors detected the chaotic nature of the environment. Massive rocks tumbled in unpredictable patterns, while quantum fluctuations caused localized distortions in space-time. Navigational computers struggled to map a safe course through the constantly changing maze. "This is exactly why we developed the neural interface," Dr. Voss observed. "Traditional computing can't react quickly enough to these conditions." Nadia settled deeper into the command chair, extending her consciousness into the ship's systems. Through the neural link, she could perceive the field not as data on a screen but as an extension of her senses, feeling gravitational pulls, seeing energy patterns, anticipating movements before they occurred. "Deploying adaptive scouts," she ordered, dispatching a dozen autonomous craft ahead. The AI-guided vessels darted between asteroids, gathering data and identifying safe passages that conventional sensors missed. Phoenix entered the field, moving with precision that belied its size. When a sudden quantum fluctuation created a gravitational shear directly in their path, the ship's systems reacted instantly, not just avoiding the danger, but using the energy distortion to slingshot around a cluster of asteroids that would have required significant course correction. From the assembly vessels observing from the edge of the field, the Phoenix appeared to dance through chaos, its movements fluid and intuitive rather than the calculated precision typical of their own ships. Captain Communications Officer Lin called out, "We're receiving unusual transmissions from within the field, not assembly signals." "Source?" Nadia asked, still focused on navigating the treacherous environment. "Unknown, but they're using quantum encryption patterns similar to ours." "Patch it through." A voice crackled through the bridge speakers, distorted by interference but unmistakably human. "Phoenix, this is Director Olivier of the Epsilon Research Station. We've been monitoring your approach, impressive navigation." Nadia exchanged surprised glances with Donovan. "Epsilon Research Station, there are humans out here." "For 3 years," Olivier responded. We're a classified outpost studying quantum phenomena in the field. The Assembly doesn't know we exist, or didn't until now. Your presence here changes the situation, Donovan said. The Assembly believes this is merely a weapons test. It's far more than that, General, Olivier replied. The quantum fluctuations in this field aren't natural. They're remnants of an ancient civilization's technology, possibly a failed weapon test or an industrial accident. We've been studying it to understand technologies the Assembly has kept from us. As if prompted by Olivier's words, proximity alarms blared. A massive quantum surge erupted from the center of the asteroid field, sending destructive waves of energy in all directions. All vessels, emergency protocols, Nadia commanded, both to her own crew and broadcasting on open channels to the Assembly fleet. That surge will destabilize the entire field. Through her neural link, Nadia directed the autonomous fleet to form a protective screen between the surge and the Assembly ships. Phoenix itself changed course, positioning its reinforced hull to shield the hidden research station. Brace for impact, she ordered as the energy wave struck. Phoenix shuddered violently. Power fluctuated throughout the ship as systems absorbed and redirected the enormous energy. Through the neural link, Nadia felt the ship's pain as its own, gritting her teeth against the sensation of circuits overloading and hull plates straining. Structural integrity at 67%, reported Chief Engineer Ramirez. Regenerative systems responding. The autonomous fleet is. Captain, they're not just blocking the energy, they're channeling it, creating a containment field. The swarm of AI vessels had formed a complex geometric pattern, each unit linking its energy systems with others. Together, they created a net that caught the destructive wave, containing and gradually dissipating its force. That's impossible, Ambassador Korath's voice cut in, his transmission breaking through despite interference. That level of coordinated response requires a hive mind. Not a hive mind, Nadia corrected, her voice strained as she maintained the neural connection despite the stress. Human ingenuity amplified by technology. We don't suppress our machines, Ambassador, we collaborate with them. As the energy wave dissipated, sensors revealed the extent of the situation. 3 assembly vessels had suffered significant damage despite the Phoenix's intervention. The research station remained intact, protected by the human warship's hull. The station is hailing us again, Lynn reported. Director Olivier's face appeared on screen, a woman with dark skin and piercing eyes, her expression grave. Captain Reyes, you've saved our facility and exposed our presence. But there's something you need to know. What we've discovered here changes everything about humanity's place in the galaxy. Explain, Donovan demanded. The quantum technology in this field, it's identical to fragments found in ancient human archaeological sites on Earth, technology that predates our recorded history. Olivier's expression was intense. Humanity didn't evolve in isolation, General. We were part of the galactic community once before, long ago. Something happened, something catastrophic, and we were abandoned on Earth to start over. The bridge fell silent as the implications sank in. Ambassador Korath's transmission cut in again. This is precisely why your species was contained. These claims are dangerous, destabilizing to the established order. You knew, Nadia realized, studying the Rigelian's expression. The Assembly knew about humanity's past and deliberately kept us ignorant. For your own protection, Korath insisted. The ancient humans weren't peaceful explorers, Captain. They were warlike expansionists. Their technologies nearly destroyed the galaxy once before. That is why the restrictions exist, not to contain you, but to prevent history from repeating itself. Director Olivier joined the transmission, her facility now linked to the communication network. That's the Assembly's version of history, Ambassador, but our research tells a different story. The ancient humans were defenders, developing weapons only after being attacked. This field isn't the result of human aggression. It's the aftermath of an assault on a human outpost. More assembly vessels had arrived at the edge of the field, a massive response fleet that outnumbered Phoenix and its autonomous craft by orders of magnitude. The Council demands the surrender of both vessels and the research facility, a new voice announced, a Centaurian High Marshal, his crystalline features arranged in what passed for determination among his species. This situation has escalated beyond a regulatory violation to a matter of galactic security. General Donovan stepped forward. You're afraid of what we've discovered. The truth about our past challenges the Assembly's authority, doesn't it? The Assembly has maintained peace for 10,000 years, the Marshal responded. We will not allow human expansionism to threaten that peace again. Then perhaps the Assembly needs reform, came a new voice. All eyes turned as another ship emerged from behind a massive asteroid, an elegant vessel of clearly alien design, but flying Earth colors alongside its own insignia. This is Ambassador Talia Enzeki of Earth aboard the Zelgian diplomatic vessel Harmony, the newcomer announced. And I am not alone. Behind the Harmony, more ships appeared, vessels representing a dozen different assembly species, but all displaying the modified insignia that marked them as part of the Reform Coalition, a minority political movement within the Assembly that advocated for greater autonomy among member species. While you were focused on the Phoenix, Ambassador Enzeki continued, Earth has been building alliances. Not all Assembly members agree with the containment policies. Many recognize that diversity of approach strengthens us all. The Centaurian Marshal's crystalline features hardened. This is treason against the Assembly. This is evolution of the Assembly, Enzeki corrected. Humanity doesn't want to destroy the galactic community. We want to join it as equals, bringing our unique perspectives and abilities. As if to emphasize her point, the Phoenix's autonomous craft had completed their work, fully neutralizing the quantum disturbance that threatened the entire region. The field was calm for the first time in centuries, according to Director Olivier's data. Ambassador Korath, who had remained silent during this exchange, finally spoke. The Council must reconsider its position. What we've witnessed here, both the technological achievement and the political reality, cannot be ignored. The Phoenix was built in defiance of Assembly restrictions, Nadia acknowledged, but not as an act of war. It represents humanity's determination to chart our own course. Today, that determination saved lives, including Assembly lives. For several tense moments, the confrontation balanced on a knife's edge. Then, gradually, the Assembly vessels powered down their weapon systems. A delegation will be permitted to present your case to the full council, the Centaurian Marshal announced, his tone making clear this was a significant concession, including evidence from the research station. As the Assembly fleet withdrew to a respectful distance, the bridge crew of the Phoenix finally allowed themselves to relax slightly. What had begun as a test flight had become a pivotal moment in human history. It's only a beginning, General Donovan cautioned. The Assembly won't change its policies overnight. No, Nadia agreed, disengaging from the neural link and feeling the strange sense of limitation as her consciousness returned to her physical body alone. But they can no longer pretend we're just primitive beings to be contained and controlled. Phoenix has proven that humanity deserves its place among the stars, not because we can build the most powerful weapons, but because we approach problems differently. She looked out at the now peaceful asteroid field, at the autonomous vessels returning to their docking bays, at the coalition of ships that had come to stand with Earth. The galaxy banned our advancement, she said quietly. But humanity built something anyway, not just a warship, but a future where we determine our own destiny. The Phoenix turned toward home, its mission transformed from a test of defiance to the first step on a new path for humanity among the stars.